All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless, no story is worthless. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to let you know, right now, today's show is all about culture. All right, it's all about, getting in, tuned to ourselves. Also, culture from overseas, the motherland, Africa, y'all. Okay, so joining me today, all the way from the country of Liberia, all right, I want to bring Saqar and Dentut on, and we're going to talk about something today that I think is very, dope, and I think, everyone that's listening to this, you all, should get on as well. So, fellas, first and foremost, thank you all. Welcome to the platform.
No, appreciate it, man. Thank you for having us, man.
Thank you for allowing us to be on the platform.
Man, no problem at all. No problem at all. Now, look, you all are hosting the Journey Home Festival, okay? Now, this is going to be June 17th through the 26th. And basically, man, two big reasons to go to this festival, ladies and gentlemen, okay? One, man, it's going to be a week long full of events, entertainment. And it's celebrating Juneteenth, Black culture, history, and travel. Okay, so that by itself, should man, get you piqued and interested. But there's more, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, man, they're going to spread knowledge as well about Liberia's immense culture. We're going to learn a lot about Liberia. Okay, so that's going to be the premise of our conversation today, ladies and gentlemen. And man, we're about to get into it. Okay, all right. So, man, gentlemen, first and foremost, let me just ask, I'm going to start with some of the events first. Like, what will be some of the activities involved in the week-long events?
Excellent. Well, first, I think seeing Providence Island, which happens on Juneteenth, this is where the actual freed slaves landed when they returned to Liberia in 1822. So it's just full of a different feeling, like, for people that have been to the continent, right? A lot of people have been to Ghana's slaves castles, right? Or Gorée Island in Senegal. Expect the opposite feeling. Seriously, yeah, because we've been to Gorée Island, and definitely like the trip over the river and everything, or you get on a ferry and things of that nature. That part is beautiful. But of course, you're hearing stories about your ancestors being shackled, whipped, hurt, terrified. These short little caves, and I mean it's a part of history. That's so it is what it is. But coming to Providence Island, one where the slaves returned, right? And hearing how they were embraced by their African brothers and sisters. And then right down the street, visiting the J.J. Roberts Monument, which is the first African-American president, right? Because, before Obama, right? Because he's African-American guy.
right.
Republic of Liberia. And it's opposite, it's euphoric. Because now instead of hearing a narrative of, whips, chains, you're hearing a narrative of freedom, opportunity, right? Even when the guy, the brother's name is Ambrose, he's the tour guide that'll be on the trip with us. Used to work in the Ministry of Tourism and stuff like that. He's like, he just kind of reenacts the story of the indigenous meeting, and you'll see it at the base of the J.J. Roberts Monument. You'll see them, greeting each other. And there's one picture where the guy picking up the dirt from the ground saying, we've returned, we're liberated, liberation. Like, it's a total opposite. Like when you hear him speak, oh my God, it feels good, man. It feels good, and it just, and then coupled with the actual hospitality that you feel here, right, that I've never felt anywhere else. It just, it just brings it all to life, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I mean, what Saqar said, just adding on a little, it's a beautiful feeling coming to Liberia, and being in Liberia is like you can feel the same activities of what goes on in the United States. Like, I'm from Brooklyn, Saqar's from New Jersey, and like, you can see a lot of the clothes that's worn here are the same clothes you're gonna see in the United States. The English-speaking country, everybody speaks English here. The food is incredible. So it's like, between the food and the daily events, it's like a really great experience. Sometimes you forget you're in Africa, because a lot of the moving around that takes place is like being in the States, literally. I really put a lot of the synonymous feelings of being in Atlanta, Georgia,
exactly,
to Liberia. Like, because like being in the South in Atlanta, Georgia, you see the rural homes, you see how the homes are, the hospitality is the same,
right?
Like that welcome vibe. Because being from up north, is really cold up north. People are mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, they mean in the morning, they mean in the night, you know what I mean? They even mean on Christmas, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like a colder vibe being up north. And then when you get to the South, you get like that hospitality, that what they call it, Southern hospitality. You get that warm feeling. So coming to Liberia is times 100. You get that really, warm, welcome feeling. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just really welcoming. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. And then, of course, other sites, we'll see Potaway Waterfall, just beautiful. Like, there's two of them. I guess they got the male and the female waterfall. We enjoy the beauty of that. Driving down, that's actually in Bong County,
right,
which is maybe like three hours from Monrovia, I think about. Right. Man, but the ride, just the whole trip is just beautiful, man. Some of the most beautiful sights you ever seen. You actually can jump in it if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. but you could. No, seriously, like literally one of the tour guides located on site jumped in that little, because like I guess where you had the waterfall and they have this little area that's like 7 feet, and it has a sign on it that says 7 feet, so on and so forth. And the guy was in there swimming. Oh nah, so I mean, then we got Blue Lake. Blue Lake is now that's north, right? I guess it would be north, right?
Right.
That's going towards Sierra Leone, actually, in what's called Bomi County. Very beautiful. Man, then we're gonna also go see the Demin Cultural Village, right? Which is where the Gola tribe is, and if I'm correct, from what we've been taught, that's one of the oldest tribes, if not the oldest tribe in Liberia, right? And they've got stories of how most of the tribes actually migrated to this point, and the Gola was some of the first. So you'll see they're gonna do their whole cultural ritual and have a naming ceremony. So that's the cultural side of it, and then inside, we're also doing a business exchange. Right. So that's the culture, which is we think automatic. Like when you touch down, that's going to be the easy part of it, right? But then to add on, to show the opportunities in entrepreneurship here is our business exchange.
Yeah, the business exchange is very important because the Liberia is only 5% developed, and by it being 5% developed, it has a population of 5 million, right? And then out of that population of 5 million, 60% of it is from 0 to 14. So the youth population is 60%, very strong. So we want to bring entrepreneurs here, investors here, and communicate with the entrepreneurs of Liberia. You got people like Jay Palm. That brother, he has he used the palm nut to create different types of cosmetic products.
Exactly.
And it's kind of like cocoa butter, because before, I remember growing up, you had regular lotion. Then cocoa butter came out of nowhere. Like, this is coconut. This is like a cream made out of coconut. And then out of nowhere, and from there, it became shea butter. You're like, okay, shea butter. That became like the new thing. You know what I'm saying? So you had cocoa butter, then became
shea butter's in Walmart now. Now it wasn't in Walmart when we was growing up.
Right,
that just happened
that's
like
right.
5-6 years ago, max.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So like this brother right here, he's about to introduce, palm butter, or which is palm nut, a nut that comes from the palm tree, which produces he got all types of cosmetics with it. And we're gonna have him a part of the economic forum, because to show entrepreneurs that we could bring this particular product to the States, as well as show other entrepreneurs from Liberia how they could connect the dots with entrepreneurs from the United States.
Exactly.
So it's just like having that economic forum is very important, because it just shows that it just shows the opportunities that's here in Liberia, because the fact that it's 5% developed, you have so many different sectors here that hasn't been really tapped in.
Exactly.
In a manner that in an industrial manner. You follow what I'm saying? So like the fishery sector, agriculture sector, and like I'm talking about, everything here is organic. So there's no GMO. You know what I mean? There's no preservatives. You follow what I'm saying? Like when I first came here, I ate an orange. I swear, like at least, no exaggeration, 10 to 15 seeds came out of it. I was tripping, because I haven't had an orange with seeds in it in like, I don't know, for so long. You know what I mean? So everything is so organic here. You know what I mean? So we want to be able to show entrepreneurs that, so like we could connect with like a Whole Foods, or connect with like a Harry's Teeters.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or even an entrepreneur could create their own new brand of organic food, or organic food line, or organic food shop. You follow what I'm saying? And then Liberia is that place to get it, because they got everything here, from all the vegetables you could think of to all the fruits you could think of. It's just like it's really rich when it comes to that.
Exactly.
Just listening to everything that you all are talking about, and I know it's just from like the organic, side, growing your own like fruits, vegetables, things of that nature. Like you said, it's only 5%, like, man, look, there's only 5% of this here going on industrial wise, but as far as this other stuff here, man,
untouched.
It's untouched, and there's like room for others to tap in. I think it's dope, because let me just say now, here in America, man, look, I ain't got to tell y'all, one's from BK, the other one's from Jersey. Y'all already know how it is. You know how it is when you walk outside your door every damn day. From growing up, middle school, high school, college, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It don't really matter, all right? We know how it can be, like the stressors, of just living in America, just being black, especially black men. As I sit here and I talk to you all in the way that I hear, man, then to you over here, like the way you're describing, all right, the soil and these fruits. I mean, the way you're describing an orange, like mentally, I'm at a place where, like, I remember, going down south as a kid, and I would eat certain, fruits or whatever, and like you said, it would be about, like how many seeds up in this bad boy,
Right.
Seeds all day. But and then you too, Saqar, man, like I just think it's dope, like we're talking about the Juneteenth aspect of it. So if you take that historical, measure of freedom, Liberia, man, liberation, things of that nature, man, really getting free, I think this is something worth exploring, for those who are just ready, seriously, mentally, on another level, and they're looking for something new.
Absolutely. I mean, just to buttress what you're saying, Liberia is this place where the opportunity is there, the people is there, the soil is there, everything is there, and the connection that we have as African Americans is so rich. The people is here so open for us to come. Like when we come, they're gonna receive us with open arms. It ain't gonna be like there is no undertone of anything. Like, you know, like it's like moving into a new neighborhood. You get to a new neighborhood and it's like there's like an undertone, like who's that?
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's like an undertone, like you right. Do not come on my porch.
Right.
Like that undertone, like, okay, like you've been over here too long. When you leave it, that undertone feeling does not exist here. It's like that. What the people are looking for is opportunities where that we have to offer, like, you know, education, hospitality, like hotel sector, like creating jobs, like that. This is what the people are looking for, and they get up every morning. I want to say between 5 and 6 in the morning, they're out hustling and bustling, getting to it. You know what I'm saying? Like getting to it. Like they really get to working. You know what I mean? So you see that working spirit, where you have people that don't want to work. You follow what I'm saying? So, but then you have the people here, the youth here, the women here, the men here that actually want to work. So when an investor come here, they're actually able to create opportunities by creating jobs. You follow what I'm saying? And then say if you want to go back to the state, then you have a situation where you have a residual income, you know, a passive income here in Liberia when you just come here on vacation.
Exactly. Because
we want to do three activations. February, which is Black History Month. June, which is Juneteenth.
Exactly.
You know, all we had at one time was just February, Black History Month.
Right.
Now we got Black History Month and we got Juneteenth. Yeah. So we want to do an activation in February on Black History Month, June for Juneteenth, and then we want to do another activation in December. So, you know what I mean? By doing the first week of December. So these 3 activations allow us to come to Liberia and hopefully spend some of that $2 trillion capacity spending that we have in a year. Because the fact that we're able to spend $2 trillion in a year, you know what I mean? We're able to, now we have somewhere we could channel that income. Right. You know, and in the place, what better place than Liberia, where we were embraced in 1822.
You know, like we talk about Black travel, you know, which has been on the rise for the last 10, 15, 20 years plus, you know what I'm saying? But like really on the rise over the last few years, you know. What you all are offering, you know, I think showcases 2 things, you know. Opportunity for a person to really think outside the box and really get away from the normal rat race that you will, you know, encounter here on the daily here in the United States. And B, you know, put you somewhere where, seriously, I know that this is a virtual interview, but I can feel the energy. I can feel the calm. I can feel the relief through this whole exchange, through the both of you. Seriously. And, you know, I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Like, there's a sense of serene. There's a sense of serenity, you know, shall I say, you know, and calmness, and, you know, just having like that mental health space, you know, like you don't really have to worry about certain things. There aren't like real pressures. And as you all spoke on, 60% of the population is youth, so they need that guy.
That's a fact. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Wow.
What's funny about that is, like, you know, here, when police lights pull up behind you here, I always joke about this, but like, you know, I do not get that feeling, that tense feeling that I get when you're in the state. You know, in the States, you know you got your license, you know you got your registration, you know you got your tags, you know you got everything, but you just got to hold. Now you know you're like, man, I hope this dude do not pull me over, and if he does pull you over, I hope I go home.
Right. Well, no. Well, so. Let's really, so as I said before, it's that mental health aspect, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's so true.
Man, everything you just said, like, look at the, like, range of emotions you just went through just to feel like you don't want to get messed with. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in an area where you do feel like, oh, okay, man, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I have, you know, place to like, man, A, I can bring opportunity here. B, I mean, man, it's just a different way of life. Man, I'm just living life.
Yeah.
That's a mutual exchange, man. It's a mutual gain, man. The opportunity here for Liberia is to potentially gain a new stream of income, because for the most part, the travelers and tourists are more so other Liberians in the diaspora. So when you start having African Americans come here, that's a whole brand new revenue stream coming into the country. Then for us, is that opportunity for what? Freedom, liberation, peace of mind, right? Stretching your money, right? Because we've been living here for 4 years, overhead, a third of what it would be in the US, right? So if you're able to, work remotely, which almost everybody has to do now anyway because of COVID, or you're running your own business, you have some sort of, residual income, man, you can really, really live good out here. And then, then outside of that, again, I mean, the place, man, really, it's funny, he said Atlanta, it really reminds me of that. And when you get out here, like, where are you from, if you don't mind?
Chicago, man. We in Chicago right now.
Yeah. Wow. So I remember when I first got to Atlanta in 2002, right? You had a bunch of people coming from Jersey, New York, Chi-Town, right? And what did we do? We brought different business ideas that were not in Atlanta at the time. There was certain things that was not there, and we brought that in there because we saw different things that they didn't see. Same thing here to make life more convenient. Same thing here, man. I mean, that's fintech, whether it's sending money that still hasn't been even like, there's a couple of, like there's Tip Me, there's a few different brands, mobile money, which is sending money from phone to phone, but there's still no one that's like really locked in yet in that space. Even bodegas, just a whole bunch of opportunities, man. So if it just takes those different minds, because I look at somebody from Chicago, to me, Chicago brothers are, more organized. You follow what I'm talking about? You really organized brothers. I look at LA is like really fearless, but it's just we look at things differently. So when we get that perspective over here in Liberia, you can see how you can develop this, that, and the other. And again, creating sustainability and creating a reason to keep coming back. Like, that's like, because now once you vested, like, it's like, now, you know what? You got to come back to Liberia, check on your investments, check on your projects, so it just creates that stronger bond,
And you know what? 2 words stick out: purpose, resource. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you're providing both, and man, okay, so let's just talk about it for a second. I mean, man, we're talking June 17th through, June 26th. As far as like lodging, travel, things of that nature, how can people, get all that information?
Oh yeah, man, journeyhomefestival.com. Go to Journey Home Festival, you can book everything right to us. We're at Cape Hotel, one of the most beautiful hotels in Liberia, overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. Travel, is going to be, it's anybody has been overseas to the continent, it's a long flight, but watch your movie, eat your meals, wake up, you're in Liberia, you're in Monrovia, so yeah, man, journeyhomefestival.com. Yep, we're looking forward to having you guys.
One thing I would like to add is, if y'all want to know about the potential of Liberia, look up The Wealth of Liberia. That's a great documentary to watch. The Wealth of Liberia, because it tells you, it shows you how Liberia was back in the, I want to say 50s and 60s.
Yeah, 70s all the way.
All through the 70s.
They shot that late 70s, if I'm correct.
But like, back in that time era of the 60s, right? Late 50s, Liberia was like Manhattan, New York, or Chicago.
Right.
Bustling.
Right.
Bustling.
Right.
Travel on Pan Am, traveling.
Direct flights, I heard. From New York.
Bustling.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, people the rest of the continent travel to Liberia, and because it was so
Right.
reminiscent to the United States. So I'm telling you, the richness of Liberia is really next level. The fact that African Americans founded Liberia is really something that we shouldn't sleep on.
No, not at all.
In 1822, when we arrived here, and we, you know, met the indigenous people here, right? And then by 1847, it became a sovereign state, you know. And then from 1847 to now, you know, you have these 200 years of this rich narrative, and it's by African Americans. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, I know I always say this because I don't really know, but I just have an idea that Jay-Z don't know about Liberia because he haven't rapped about it yet.
Right.
Diddy don't know about it because he hasn't rapped about it. It's
Right.
not on Revolt. You know what I mean? Who else? 50
Right.
Cent. You know what I mean? Like these guys are your biggest influences within our generation and community, and they're not talking about Liberia, a country that's founded by African Americans.
No, that's a good point.
Because
They must not be able to know. They must not know because how could you talk Africa and then not talk the place that the only place in the world, not only that, the only country in the world founded by African Americans. So that would be a part of your dialogue. I think they just did a Love and Hip Hop version in, I think they might have a Love and Hip Hop Africa now. Right. Wow. Yeah. So I mean, but if you're not talking about Liberia, there is that gap of people just not knowing. I mean, I agree.
They go to Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? They go to like we were talking. We were like, yeah, we in Liberia, Nigeria. Nah, we in Liberia.
Right.
Libya.
And then Libya. Nah, Liberia. And they'll look it up. Man, you in Costa Rica? Because they got a Liberia, Costa Rica. I'm like, nah, bro, we in Liberia, West Africa. So it's like, this is like a hidden gem.
It really is.
And you know, it's an honor for us to really, you know, hold this flag of letting our people know, like, yo, we got a country. We legitimately have a country, certified country. You know what I'm saying? Called Liberia. That's 5% developed, that got gold, that got diamond, that got, man, it's rich.
Right.
It's 5% developed.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? And you know, we're able to utilize our disposable income and bring it here. Like whatever we do for entertainment at our leisure and spend whatever amount of monies, we could actually think about bringing it in here and creating opportunity for what they call it, generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? And then you can continue to go back and forth. You don't necessarily have to stay here. Like me, I don't plan on going back to the States. I just don't plan. Like it's like in my mind, it's crazy because my mom's and my father's from Haiti, right? So them being from Haiti, and when I was at home, that was like Haiti, like from the food, from the heat, from everything. But when I was outside, I was in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so when I was inside, I was in this tropical environment. The language being spoken was Haiti. So I always had that you know, the switch off, switch on, switch off, switch on of these different type of mentality. But then by the time I left New York, I lived in Boston for some time, and then by the time I left Boston and went to Atlanta, and then felt that the southern food, the soul food, the music, the ebonics of the South. I'm like, man, this is different. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then, by the time I left the South and went to, I guess further south, came to Africa, it became a situation like, man, this is right here incredible because you could create whatever you want here.
Right.
You could create whatever you want here. So it's really a beautiful thing, you know. Not to say that I might never come back, but right now I'm like, wow, it's like an open canvas. You know, if you want to open up a hotel, you can. And another thing, just to let your audience know, Liberia is the only country that I know of. No one else can have land here unless you're of African descent. So These people saying like, if you're not African descent, you can't buy land.
Period.
You can't buy land. If you Chinese can't buy land here, Lebanese can't buy land here. Nobody else can buy land here unless you have African descent. And I think that's pretty cool.
In the Constitution.
Okay, let's just dive just a little bit deeper on that, because you all bring up some great points. You know, for those who are not really truly aware of, you know, what's going on in certain parts of Africa and even certain parts of, like, I would say the tropical islands, Jamaica, you know, Costa Rica and those parts or whatever, they are under Asian rule. Like, they have a large Asian economy, you know, and man, these are facts, ladies and gentlemen. You can look it up. You know, there's certain parts of South Africa, you know, under, you know, Asian rule. You know, I don't know if it's China. I believe it is China, you know, but yeah, you know, like, China has their hands in a lot of the international, you know, land, currency, what have you. And for you to say what you just said, man, look, if you're not African descent, you can't buy land here. You can have a business here. You know what I'm saying? You can bring business here all you want, man. Look here till the cows come home. But you can't have land here. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not a native son or native citizen of this country itself. And another key factor, you know, and you all can touch on this if you want. I know Liberia is the only country in Africa that has not fallen under colonial rule. As you said, it was ruled by African Americans itself. So there it is.
That's exactly right. But keep in mind, it's not only Liberians. It's only people of Negro descent can own land. So Ghanaian, Nigerian, or a African American. We're the only ones. And I think they either use Negro or Black, right? And it was, of course, it was created because of all of the, you know, inequality that was happening in the West at the time. So they were like, all right, this is a place, a safe space for you to come home and own. Similar to what Haiti did. You know, when Haiti declared their independence, I think they were like, you know, you're welcome to like $15 or something like that, your freedom. Anybody that arrived, you know, to Haiti during the time of Toussaint, the overture, because, you know, remember, that's only several years after. Haiti was first, and then 1804. Then right after that was the Republic of Liberia. The arrival was 1822 in Liberia, which is being celebrated this year, 200 years. So that's another reason to be a part of the experience, because it's 200 years of that return. And then in 1847 is when they actually formed the nation, the Republic of Liberia. So I just want to hone in on that one more time, because look, again, Negro descent, anywhere in the world, you come here, you can own land. No, everybody else cannot.
Look, I love it. I love it. Like, my interest is definitely peaked, you know. For real. No, hey, man, look, yeah, but we'll have no time to talk about all that. But no, like, I really think this is dope. And, you know, one of my final questions to you all is, you know, man, basically, what insight or prerogative do you all hope, you know, this experience of the festival will have on those who choose to embark on a journey to come to Liberia?
What we hope to get out of this is creating a new lane within tourism, and creating a new thought process when it comes to awareness. Like, you know, when it comes to tourism, we want people to be able to know, like, okay, well, you know, it's Black History Month. I'm going to Africa. Where you going? Liberia. Why are you going to Liberia? Well, it was founded by African Americans, and it's Black History Month, and kind of have that whole association of what Black History Month means to you, and connect it to Liberia. You know what I'm saying? The same thing for Juneteenth. Like, you know, and then really and really have that connection to a place where it just makes total sense. And you ain't just saying stuff and trying to sound heavy. It's just so simplistic. You know, African Americans founded in 1822, and it's Black History Month. I'm about to go spend my time over there. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna spend my time over there. And because the narrative itself speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
you know, and then when it comes to like, you know, and that's the mindset. And then when it comes to like, you know, having a place where you could create opportunity for yourself and your, like that generational wealth, this place this would be the place. So it's like, you know, you got a lot of people in the United States that's really smart, that works 2-3 jobs, that have disposable income. Like I got 10, 20,000, you know, stashed in their house, you know what I'm saying? And like 30,000 and working a job, and they, you know what I mean, living a decent life or what have you, you know, and don't know that there's an opportunity here. Like, you know, you could create an Uber system, create an app and get that app really bustling and really affecting the lives of the people over here, and you living off of you living off of that residual income while you working, and from that residual income, it might just stop you. It might just change your whole lifestyle. Liberia can do that. Exactly. You might like you might want to come and start opening up hotels here. The place where we at right now is called Ala Lagoon. The brother that established Ala Lagoon, he established it. He came from New Jersey. He's Liberian. So he's Liberian, but he was living in the States. I guess he worked from the States. You know, as he worked in the States, he gathered monies. You know what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing from stories that I heard from different people. He left the States,
and from him.
Right. He left the States, and when he left the States, he took whatever earnings that he had and bought this land here. He started from one little area, I guess, as a guest house, and then it went from a guest house to like this dude. I want to say he has, as I look around, I want to say he has maybe 100 rooms here now. You know what I mean? And it started from a guest house. You know what I'm saying? When we first started coming here, there was no swimming pool. There's a swimming pool now. You know what I'm saying? Where we sitting at wasn't situated the way we're sitting at. Now it's situated to a place where we can actually have this conference that we're having on a Zoom call. And it all started from a guest house. You know what I'm saying? So this guy, he's so, we always come here because he's so inspirational, because it's like what any one of us can do, he did. And he's walking around here. He don't have a memorial. He passed away, and this is what he did. And people kind of embellish or whatever the case is. He's walking around here, making sure more rooms is there, creating a lifestyle. People utilize the space for what they want to utilize it, and you know, from that, somebody next door came and opened up a spot. Now that spot's called Calabash, and it be cracking like the biggest club. You know what I mean? But my point is, he started what he started, and somebody came and did what they did over there, and before you know it, this whole strip right here is going to be like a littered strip downtown. You follow what I'm saying? So the point is, so much can be done in Liberia. You know what I mean? Because it's still at its infant stage. You know?
Exactly.
So what we plan to get out of this is to really speak to these entrepreneurs, speak to these visionaries, speak to these guys with money, and let them know, like, okay, this one could be created here. We went to Dubai, right? And when we went to Dubai, Dubai is like incredible. It's like Wonderland. It's like these guys took their money, oil money, and created this incredible space.
Really did.
But they created it on sand. Nothing grows on sand. No. Sand. You know what I'm saying? Just like Vegas, you know what I'm saying? Like they did a Vegas on steroids times 100, right? But like Liberia, you could grow anything here. They got a saying: you can throw a seed anywhere, and it'll grow, whatever it is. So the land is fertile. Right. You know what I'm saying? There's gold here. There's diamonds here. There's what's that? Cobalt, that the stuff that they put inside the cell phone. is here, like silver is here, like, so all these rich minerals that the world needs to survive is here. You know what I'm saying? Agriculture, you get. Saqar was just on the phone with somebody, said I got 1,500 cashew trees.
Right.
I'm like, well, shoot, man, we need to go ahead and package them cashews and send them to the States. So yeah, we can sell them in it. We can sell them here too. So it's like with our United States state of mind, because if you're in the United States, from the United States, you can't help but to have a capitalistic mindset, because that's what we're bred on, capitalism. You follow what I'm saying? That's what we're bred on. You follow what I'm saying? So being in a place like this, you can't stop but to think on how to turn a dollar. You know, so
Exactly.
that's what we want to be able to do, man. The takeaway is like, yo, look, you got options.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Options,
man, because you know you got people from places like Jersey City, Brooklyn. They never even think about leaving where they're from, you know, and then but they complain about the situation. Even when you look at like Liberians, right? There's a family I know that they own a beach property, and they actually called. The brother called it Myrtle Beach, as their mom's name Myrtle. But first of all, there's a lot of places, you probably saw that, named after America because they were African American. So you got New Georgia, you got Virginia. You follow what I'm talking about? What else? You got White Plains. Right. You got a few, man, more than a few. So our thing is, look, one thing that I want people to be able to take away from the trip is a mindset change. See that you got options, just like that family that's Liberian that spends half the year in the US and half the year here. You could do the same thing. You buy yourself some property, develop your home, and you could be living half the year here, half the year there. So if you are not, happy with your treatment, right? I'm not saying you gotta lose your U.S. citizenship. I'm just saying you got options. You got other places you could visit. So I also want people to, because sometimes the conversation is more one-sided, like of what Africa is going to get from African Americans. But don't forget what you're going to get from coming to Africa, and you're going to get way more, because we've been, is that link has been so disconnected for so long. You forgot, where you really from, what life is really about. That you get that, just like when you go down south, you kind of get an opportunity to think, come on, everybody's teaching meditation now, right? Russell Simmons is the guy that brought some of the hardest hip hop acts into and he's telling you like, yo, meditation is, but this is by default when you're in certain places, when you're deep in the South, default, you get those opportunities to get your mind still. Default, that opportunity is here in West Africa, specifically in Liberia. So yeah, our one takeaway that I want the people to walk away with is that, yeah, they got options. They got options. Yep.
It just sounds like an opportunity for us to really, and by us, I do mean African Americans, to really have, the Black Wall Streets that we really do desire, that were burnt down, that were destroyed by, those, who were basically just haters, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say don't want us to progress the way we really want to progress. So, man, just sitting here having this conversation with you all, just talking about, just some of the key factors that, yes, there is a 60% youth population. 60% of the youth, 60% of the population are youth, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So they need teaching. They need upbringing. They need guidance. They need certain things, to make them, into progressive adults. And that's not to say that they won't be, but if we're bringing opportunities over there for them to learn the business side of things, man, you'll learn other, personal development skills that go along with running a business as well to help you, to become even more whole as a person. So, look, let me just, man, look, hey, y'all, look, purpose, okay? Resource, man. I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Like, those two words are the words that really jump out at me when, we're talking about all of this. And ladies and gentlemen, man, as they said, okay, look, JourneyHomeFestival.com, www.JourneyHomeFestival.com, okay?
That's it.
Man, June 17th through the 26th. Man, please get involved, all right? And fellas, once again, I thank you all for coming on to the platform. Man, once again, we have Saqar and then Tut. You know,
that's it. Good looking, man. I appreciate you for having us, man. Yeah, man. Thank you for the platform, man.
Man, no problem at all. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I've been your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless, no story is worthless. You can follow me, all social media platforms, at Word with Ty Brownlow, or go to my website, tybrownlow.com. Get this wonderful conversation, plus other great conversations as well. We out, y'all. Peace.